Welcome back. We're here with plant and garden expert Craig Hignite. Now, Craig, I know you said you have something you want to share real fast.
Well, I've always told the viewers I'd let them know when the mums are available. They came up yesterday. So get them in the ground, fertilize them every 10 days. They are hungry little devils. That'll get them well established and give you great blooms this fall.
Is there a special fertilizer you would put on these or just Miracle-Gro?
I would actually use a bloom booster of some kind.
Okay,
yes.
Great. All right, Mike is asking, why are my zucchini leaves turning white and dying off?
White is very unusual. Could be that it's gotten too much sun. That's exactly what happens in the greenhouse if we happen to move a plant over in too much light. Also, keep an eye peeled for spider mites. There can be thousands of them there, and they just suck the life right out of the leaf, and it can go either yellow or white. Take a good look, and it never hurts to give a preventative spray with something like all-season oil spray.
Alrighty, and the next one is, I bought a 3-foot hibiscus and planted it, but I'm not sure if I should keep it in the pot.
Well, it all depends. If your hibiscus is a tropical, it's going to have very dark green leaves, probably about the size of the palm of my hand. If it's a hardy hibiscus, it's going to have a lighter colored leaf, and the blooms are going to be absolutely huge. Tropical hibiscus are about 4 or 5 inches across. Perennial hibiscus are like 8 or 10 inches across. And if your stems are really thick, like a broom handle, that is probably a perennial hibiscus that can go in the ground.
Those hibiscus flowers, dehydrate them, turn them into tea. That's what we did. Anyway, Sylvia asking, what Illinois plants are native that they could be planting?
Oh, we've got the cone flowers, the rudbeckias, the tick seed, some of the sunflower family. Of course, many kinds of grass are native to the Midwest here. So you've got a fairly broad array of plants to use in a natural garden.
And Chad asks, when is the best time to replant lettuce and green beans?
Well, if you're starting lettuce, I would actually be starting it in the house. Lettuce does not germinate when it gets above 80 degrees out in the open. So if you start it in the house, you can go ahead and transplant it when it's about 1 inch tall, and it'll be fine outside. Green beans, I'd be getting them in the ground. Remember, you have to choose a fairly short season crop so it will mature before we get our first frost around Halloween.
All right. All right. Brace yourselves. This is a long one. Vicky's saying, I have a container. She's a container gardener. Peppers appear to be fighting for space. I have one plant with 6 peppers on it, all in the center of the plant, and it's like they are stunted in their growth as they are all inside the plant and not growing outside the plant. What can she do?
Okay. Sounds like you got some early fruit set on this plant, and of course the plant has grown out over it. Make sure that you're staying on top of your watering, not soggy wet all the time, but don't let it go into a wilt between waterings, and make sure that it's getting some fertilizer. In a container like that, every time you water, you're flushing some fertilizer out the bottom of the pot, so you have to continuously replace it. So use a liquid fertilizer and use it according to the directions on the label.
Larry asked, how do I deadhead my bee balm?
Bee balm. Oh, that's an easy one. When bee balm finally, it looks like a big mop head of hair when the bee balm is in bloom. Once it's faded to the point you don't like looking at it anymore, just pinch that flower head off, and quite often it will force new growth up from the bottom that will give you color later in the season.
And final question, Robert, should I be cutting back my iris or digging them up to move later?
Well, if you're going to dig and replant iris, do it now. And yes, the only reason to cut back iris in the summer is if you are digging, dividing, and replanting. And I would try and get it done. We started back around the 4th of July. I would like to get it done before the end of July.
All right, Craig, thank you so much for joining us once again. And you can join us each and every Wednesday through the News 8 app, through the Facebook Live, that is,
Yes.
where you can get your plant and garden questions answered, and you can be a part of that conversation. We'll be right back.